Welcome back. Today I'm outside. I'm repotting my plants. Got this one. I saw a little bit of mold on the top, so I was like, it's probably a problem with the soil absorbency. So I'm putting it into this pot. Size comparison. As you can see, I'm a dramatic plant mom because I took all of the soil off and I found the root of where the mold was coming from. So if you hear me multitasking, wow, talking to y'all, that's what I'm doing. We haven't had a chance to catch up on life or anything, so I just wanted to say hello and kind of give y'all some updates since it's been quite a minute. I guess the first update is that I'm 25. And 25 has been a crazy age to be, I will say, just because I feel like everyone's like, oh, like, you know, when you're younger 20s, you're figuring it out and everything. But then 25, you're like, wait, I got 5 years till I'm 30. So I've been having to be a big girl and figure some life stuff out. 25 has really just been a year of self-discovery. I also feel like it's been a year of like waking up. Part of it because it's 2025 and everything seems to be happening in the world right now. We're living through a lot of major life events, so it's not been the most comforting transition into adulthood, but at the same time I'm also 25, so I've been feeling like I have to figure things out, set up my career and everything, because by the time I'm 30, like, there may be, like, you know, people depending on me. There's just so much I have to figure out. And then I think that when I was going into 25, I was very much like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out this year. But then I realized that's not possible with the state that we're at right now in this world. And it's also a lot of pressure to put on yourself to figure out a lot of things in 1 year. So I've really just had to try to take my time with it. I think that even not outside of being 25, I feel like we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to have things figured out by the time we're 30. And I feel like, especially our generation, we need some more grace because there's been a lot going on in the world right now. In terms of career, I've just been making kind of a switch, but it's been kind of interesting time to do that. So that's been interesting, and hearing a lot of people's opinions on it has not been super encouraging. I've had to really stay close to God at this time and really just follow where He wants me to be. And that has been more encouraging, but at the same time, doing that while trying to block out the voices is really, really hard. I've been kind of building a support network for myself. Of like people that support my dreams and everything. And it's been great. It's just hard to be around those that are less supportive. So I kind of have to fully balance myself. When I'm around people that are less supportive, I have to then go around my people that are supportive or hear from them. All the birds. I just love sitting outside and just hearing all the nature and everything. I think that there's also, I think with 25 also just comes like your frontal lobe forming and you kind of waking up. And that's been very interesting because I thought that that was like a joke. Not a joke, I knew the frontal lobe would form, but I didn't realize it'd be such a drastic change. I feel like now I'm kind of a different person in terms of like what I value and care about, because I feel like before I was 25, a lot of it was, of what I cared about was based on external things, or external approval and getting the approval of other people. Now I'm very much like I really could give now I'm like I really could care less. So yeah, I mean, it hurts my feelings when people don't approve of me sometimes, but in certain aspects it doesn't. Like, for example, in terms of appearance, I've stopped caring since I turned 25. And that's another thing too I've noticed as well. I'm 25 and the pressure to find my soulmate is very high right now. Pressure not internally but externally. But part of it is like, one, I'm the girl. I think what has actually been countering it for me has been trusting God. And I feel like I feel like I do have a desire to get married, and God wouldn't place that desire in my heart if it weren't meant to be. And I also feel like I'm at a season right now where I'm kind of turning myself into the person that I want to be through the conflict and the trials that come with 25. I feel like I'm building a lot of character. So in this season, I feel like it's almost preparing me for that anyway. So basically, I'm saying I'm not forcing it because right now it's character building moments. It's also very peaceful. I do find peace being by myself as well. I think the hardest part is like, I find so much peace being by myself, but then there's people around me telling me that I need someone. I need someone. And when you keep hearing something, it starts to like put itself into your beliefs. So a lot of times when I was growing up, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to get married. I need to do this, that, da, da, da. And I know that it's an internal desire now because I've kind of blocked that out. And I was like, no, I do want to get married. I want to have my person. But sometimes, let's say you're in a season where you're like, no, I need to be alone right now. But there's people around you saying, oh, you need to get married. You need to do this, that, da, da, da. It kind of makes you feel like that's something that you want. You're like, you know what? I need this. I need this. Because maybe I'm wrong. Psychologists tell me if I'm wrong. But I feel like our brains might confuse, what's it called? Our brains might confuse other people saying I need this with us saying I need this, you know, almost like an affirmation. But basically, I'm saying that I'm very happy with where I'm at because, one, I just don't know if I've met my person, or if I did, we just weren't in the right season. But also because I'm working on finding beauty in the seasons that I'm in right now, instead of listening to everyone that's rushing me, saying, you need this, that, da, 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 like on the checklist of life. You know, so I'm just finding beauty with where I'm at, because you also don't know how long you're going to be on this earth, and you want to enjoy and embrace every moment. So yeah, this is really relaxing. Let me show you my progress. Okay, so plant baby is in the new pot. I'm just like pushing the soil down. I like to put extra soil on the top and then push it down, just because when I water it, I feel like the soil presses down more. But yeah, let's get back to our conversation. Actually, do you want to see the plants while I'm doing this? I can show you. Them birds is really going in. What else? They're new at 21. Not 21, I'm 25. It's actually been kind of a sad season for me, just because I've also had a lot of expectations for myself, so I can't even blame everyone around me as well. I had certain expectations for myself. Now, who set them, how I set them, don't know. But I had a lot of expectations for myself, where I was just like, okay, well, I have this figured out and this figured out. And I think part of it is because I jumped into being in such an established place, like right after college, like fresh out of college. So anything outside of being as high as I was kind of seems like I'm going downhill. But I will say the character development and the like friendship development, like my social life basically, and all of that has been thriving in this season. And I was telling my best friend this yesterday when I was hanging out with her. I feel like in different seasons we have some low areas and some high areas. And right now, my low area, I'm not claiming it to be career because it's just in progress. But that's kind of what's going on. In my high area right now, that's like thriving, is my social life and my friendships. Since moving back to the DMV, I have formed so many like new friendships, to be honest, because I've been going to DC like every other day and meeting all of these really cool people. And I've been going to like, I love day parties. Day parties are basically networking events, y'all. But like fun ones where you're not just talking about job stuff. But it's just a great way to socialize. So I've been going to like some of those that my friends have been hosting. I've been meeting people. I actually have been going to like official networking events as well. And I just feel like my social life has been thriving since moving back here versus being in Atlanta. Now there's nothing against Atlanta. That was just like my situation in Atlanta, because I did move there not knowing anyone. When I moved back here, I actually knew people. I have my family here, obviously, even though we based in Chicago. But I have like my parents here, but I also have like my friends from high school. And then my college is not, I mean, it's far, but like all people from my college, they usually move up here as well to the DMV. Friends, is it that serious? Do you hear them having a whole conference behind me? Okay, well, we're just gonna talk over them since everybody has so much to say. I think we're about done. Next steps. How much time do I have? Because I have a Spanish lesson in 20 minutes. Okay. I can't tell you all the next steps, you know? That's kind of, you know. Okay, I'm trying to get to where I'm trying to be career-wise, so then I can get to where I want to be location-wise. And then as I'm doing that, I'm maintaining the socializing. I'm not the type of person that's very much like, I can't, you know, make new friends or meet people while I'm doing that. I'm kind of building from where I'm at and then making great friends along the way. Maybe 2025 was the friends that we made along the way. I'm just doing things like this nowadays in between all the hustle and bustle of like, you know, building my dreams. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of in between everything, doing stuff like this to ground myself, because in the midst of all the hustle and bustle and trying to get here and this, that, da-da-da, you're gonna miss out on the best years of your life if you're just running around like, okay, I gotta hustle, bustle, get this money, this, that, da-da-da-da. That's just paper. That's just paper, books. Yes, it's useful on this earth and in this capitalistic society, but it's literally, at the end of the day, like once we're gone, and what God sees, he doesn't care about that. It's like, who were you in the time that you were on this earth? How were you being? I think there's a bird watching me right now. That, oh my goodness, it actually is. Hi, you're so cute. But yeah, just been fighting grounding and peace amidst this. And then whenever I do get to a low place, something that I've discovered that helps me a lot is getting someone else's perspective on it, specifically someone that is very positive and optimistic. So I like to talk to my like really close friends, close circles, because sometimes I get very much like, oh my goodness, end of the world. And they're very much like, no, let's reframe this. This is actually what's happening. Let's think through this. And if you do this, you won't be able to learn this lesson, which is also the hardest thing that I've had to realize as well. You learn lessons through different challenges that you face, and sometimes I'm like, well, I don't want to face anything. I just want to run. So my friends really help ground me with that. We have been pretty good all right over here. God has been the most apparent in my life in this season than he has in any other time in my, well, maybe I just feel that right now, but I really do feel like I'm like getting so much closer to God right now in this season through all these trials. So I do believe that this was meant to happen, and I feel like he's helping me to see things and be optimistic in this season as well. So I really cannot complain, to be honest. I'm in a season of learning, loading, because we're waiting, and growing. So I'm very grateful for that. And hopefully my little plant will be as well in a season of growing, since I replaced her soil. She looks so beautiful now. Tell her she looks good. I hope that you guys have a lovely day, and yeah.